Breaking news. Right now, we have just agreed terms to sign Robert Sanchez of Brighton. Wow. To move on though, we discuss updates behind Tyler Adams of Leeds United, we talk Andre of Fluminense, and currently, the club are exploring the possibility of signing Kylian Mbappe on a one-year loan spell. So my friends, stories are set to get even crazier during this month as we go into overdrive mode to get this squad ready for this potential title challenge for Pochettino. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, hit that like button and share your thoughts and opinions too. Without wasting any more time, we have reached an agreement to sign Robert Sanchez. David Ornstein today dropped the bomb, and we actually learned the figures behind this move because at the time, these figures were being kept secretive. We've learned today that we are set to sign Robert Sanchez for a total package of 25 million. This includes a 20 million fixed fee plus 5 million in additional bonuses. Now that Robert Sanchez is set to sign for us, we can finally allow Gabriel Solina to move on loan to Kaz Open as he's agreed a loan spell with the Belgian club. Robert Sanchez is set to take his medical before signing for us, and he's set to reunite with his former goalkeeping coach in Ben Roberts. Now, I think it's so obvious and bait that this move for Sanchez is part of an overall package to sign Moises Caicedo. As we know, Caicedo is priority number one, and we are still actively holding negotiations to strike a deal, and things are looking a lot more positive, so developments should come very, very soon. So it's quite clear that for us to sign Caicedo, we had to secure a deal for Robert Sanchez. Brighton have essentially replaced him, De Zerbi doesn't need him anymore, and it feels like we're scratching their back, so obviously they can scratch ours by selling Caicedo to us. So for me, this is very positive news, but I know to some people, they may be a bit disappointed that we haven't signed a big goalkeeper like Onana or Magnon or maybe Diogo Costa. But I can only speak for myself, and I'm more than content with this move. I feel like Sanchez has great Premier League experience. He is more physical, aggressive and taller than Kepa, ranging at around 6'5". The guy is very aggressive in his high claims and his aerial ability, and obviously as we're even noticing during pre-season, we are still looking a little bit weak when it comes to defending set pieces, especially from corners, and having a goalkeeper that doesn't have to punch crosses away but can actually claim them with his hands. That's going to add so much security to our defense that for me, this is an intelligent move to make for the team. I'd like to think that Sanchez and Kepa both push each other on to be even better keepers for next season. It feels like both goalkeepers will get opportunities to impress Pochettino, so it'll be very interesting to see who becomes the number one keeper as this season has come to an end. Obviously, he isn't world class, but for me, if you want to have a strong team, it's about highlighting and focusing on the strengths of your players and their best qualities, whilst minimizing the qualities that they aren't perfect in. And I have some confidence and faith in this board because these guys have been quite thorough and intelligent behind the deals they've made over the past 12 months. We've signed some great players, we've relied upon their great expertise and scouting, and so far we haven't been let down. Just because Sanchez lost his spot under De Zerbi doesn't mean that we can't benefit from him, and it essentially boils down to this. You know, De Zerbi wants his goalkeeper to play exclusively on the ground and to play very quickly, while Sanchez is an aggressive goalkeeper that wants to kickstart attacks, that has a very good passing range over great distances. He's very accurate in those regards, and that's a feature that Brighton don't necessarily want to use in their system. But just because De Zerbi doesn't want that, doesn't mean that Pochettino won't benefit from a keeper like this. And for me, I will happily take this guy if this means that this gives us the opportunity to finalize Moises Caicedo. And for me, he is the most important signing we're going to make throughout this whole window. So my friends, share your thoughts and opinions. How do you feel about this news? Are you happy? Are you disappointed? Let us know in the comment section. And now we discuss one of the surprising stories of the recent weeks, and we talk Tyler Adams of Leeds United because it's quite evident now based on the latest reports we want Caicedo and an additional midfield player, but it seems like for this additional mid, we want a more defensive specialist in the team. Now I'll say quickly before I discuss the reports, Conor Gallagher has been one of our most impressive midfield players during pre-season, and he's really adapted very well to playing a more defensive role in a pivot. And I think yesterday against Dortmund, this guy really shines, and he gave that platform for an Enzo Fernandez. My only thinking behind why we would sell Gallagher to sign a replacement for him is that we want a more pure defensive specialist, And knowing that Tyler Adams has a relegation release clause that you can sign him for less than 20 million, he's on way less wages compared to Conor Gallagher as well too, and you could sell Gallagher for between 40 to 50 million, really cash in on him and sign a replacement for a fraction of the fee. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I understand and respect the business decisions behind a move like this. We currently have competition with Aston Villa, who have shown long-term interest in Tyler Adams. Is Adams the right move we should make? To keep things purely objective, I think this guy has proven to be one of the top defensive mids now in the top 5 leagues across Europe. As you guys are seeing on screen, here are his FB ref stats from last season, and you have to realise he's producing numbers like this playing for a Leeds United team that would regularly get overrun in midfield or absolutely get taken over. So in a way, he was kind of like a one-man army for Leeds. I think when you actually break down the qualities behind his game, this guy makes a bit of sense. I mean, not only is he very versatile, he can play as a wing-back, as a fullback, anywhere in midfield as well too. He has a ton of experience internationally, playing in Europe and now in the Premier League. He's an exceptional defensive player. He ranks incredibly high for recoveries, interceptions, tackles, and the stat I really like, how successful are you when it comes to tackling players on the run? Because for a team like us under Pochettino, we are going to give teams the opportunity to counter-attack against us. So it's like, can you quickly recover the ball back against the counter-attacking threats, win it back, and then play a quick pass to find a more creative player? That is the most important thing, because you can see the progressive passing stats, but it's not necessarily that important because Adams is here to play a specific role. And as we're seeing currently with Pochettino, especially in last night's game against Dortmund, you want to have that more defensive midfield player who allows Enzo Fernandez or anyone else to get freed up to maybe roam into the final third a bit more. And I think as like a whole team thing, this is the most balanced way to improve the team. The only passing stat that matters about Tyler Adams, you're not necessarily going to see it on stats, but it's the fact that he is very comfortable spreading wides to play the ball forwards. We're seeing with Pochettino how he uses the box build-up structure, or sometimes a 3+1. You're going to need your defensive guy to be good at playing forward, and that's something Adams can do. But just to even give my final opinion on this guy, not only does he have all these qualities, but I think the guy is also a leader. You're adding more leadership to the team. He is a great character, very humble, does a ton of charitable work as well too, and his personality and his ambition would definitely complement our team. So that's the latest news around Tyler Adams. How do you guys feel about this? Now we talk Kylian Mbappe. And reports state that right now Mbappe is currently disgruntled with life at Paris Saint-Germain. He feels like he should be getting a move, and if he doesn't leave, he will happily sit in the stands throughout next season and leave on a free for absolutely nothing. Reports today state that Paris Saint-Germain have placed a 250 million fee for anyone to sign Mbappe. But in terms of where Mbappe wants to go, it's quite clear that it's Real Madrid. But we are learning nothing about Madrid raising the funds now to sign him during this window. Now, it's been revealed that Mbappe isn't really keen on signing for us. However, he would only be interested if this was a one-year loan to sign for us for this season. Well, Paris Saint-Germain aren't necessarily keen on a move like this because they want to cash in on him and try and get a return on their investment, right? However, even though this isn't our preferred option, we are open to the potential of having Mbappe here for 1 year, and that kind of makes a lot of sense because if we have the opportunity to add Mbappe, I think this makes us overwhelming title contenders. And as per learning from Pochettino, Enzo Fernandez, the ambition and play this season is to go for the league, and I love that these guys understand what it means to be at this football club. So I guess the question I'm going to pose to you guys, would you take Mbappe on a 1-year loan spell? Now I'm going to give my opinions, and obviously I'm fully here for a move like this. I like to be optimistic and think that if Mbappe was part of our squads at this football club, could we entice him to remain here and make him fall in love with us? Because that is one thing we've tended to do with many great players ended up signing for us. We do special things behind the scenes. Not only do we become immediate title contenders, having one of the greatest players in the world spearheading our attacks, but I feel like, of course, Pochettino has experience working with him and he can find ways to optimize him and use him in his current ideas. We're seeing Mudryk also playing on the right wing, which I feel he can also do. So could that open up tactical possibilities for the team? I mean, I'd like to think so. Mbappe on the left, Jackson up front, and Kunku behind, and Mudryk on the right hand side. That is a devastating, creative, offensive front forward. But I think most importantly, Mbappe is going to set us up differently in terms of financial opportunities. We know that we're struggling to sign like big contracts and sponsorships right now because we missed out on Champions League football. But when you have one of the most marketable brands in the sport playing for you, there's going to be tons of opportunities of companies and businesses wanting to sign with us, of course, to cash in on that Mbappe hype and, of course, leverage his overwhelming popularity. There will be tons of commercial benefits and also legacy benefits too, because we'll never forget that time that Mbappe played for us 1 year, and that will be stories and discussions we'd have for basically the rest of our lives. Something eventually has to give between Mbappe and Paris Saint-Germain, so my friends, let's continue to watch this space. And now we end things by discussing these latest reports around Andre of Fluminense. Now, Liverpool are currently showing interest, however, it seems like the interest is ending a little bit, and that's based on news that was confirmed by Romano, where it states that Fluminense are happy to sell him for between 25 million euros. However, they prefer to sell him at the end of their season in January. Obviously, Liverpool needs options right now, and we need options too. But this is where today's updates are pretty interesting. As we know, we tried to use Andre as the stopgap loan option to help us sign Manuel Ugarte, and as we know too, Jorge Mendes is the intermediary in this deal to bring Andre to Europe. Sporting Lisbon are massive fans. We have a great relationship with them. We actually tried to buy like ownership stake in Sporting, which was refused at the time, but we've maintained very positive relationships since. And developments today state that we could be interested in signing Andre right now and then loaning him out to Sporting Lisbon in January. I could see the benefits here. Like, not only are we maintaining that relationship with Sporting, and Sporting are a club that sell world-class talents, you want to keep that going, but Andre gets to acclimatise to life in Europe. He gets to maintain playing week in, week out. Naturally, we beat competition to his signing and keep him on our books. So currently, I'm interested to see like how far interest is for Andre. I think ideally, we prefer to sign like a backup mid in this window. However, could we entertain and explore things for future windows? I wouldn't rule that out. So my friends, with that note, I'm going to wrap things up and end today's video. Before I go on though, I wanted to quickly say this, but right now, I would love to get feedback from my viewers because, of course, I respect the fact that you guys are taking time out your day to watch my content, and I feel like it's my responsibility to give you guys the best possible content if you're taking time out of your life to watch me. So I'd love you guys to leave some feedback about improvements on the channel, things you like, things you don't, more things you want to see. I'll be posting this question too in my community page, so please feel free to leave any feedback that you want to. So my friends, I'm Nini FC, this is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.